Yo, what up, gang? Okay, let's do another update of the coins that I'm watching, potential trades, recap some of the previous trades I talked about in the last video. As you know, I was talking about Litecoin. There's actually some news about someone who acquired about like I think 1% of the supply or something like that. But the Litecoin trade absolutely cooked from our zone here, and now is on a little bit of a retracement. So I'd like to see this low hold here. And if you are in this position, well, the way to manage it, in my opinion, right now is honestly set your stop loss at this low here. Because if we come down and start showing weakness at this previous high here, I would expect a further pullback. And also, I just don't want to be positioned in something that's showing weakness that was previously showing strength. So that's pretty much how to manage the Litecoin trade. I know I'm getting right into the point in this video on this trade because I think it's really important. Um, but as you can see here from the bottom, Litecoin went all the way up like 25%, which is kind of crazy. So I printed a lot on that trade. And honestly, I still have targets for these highs up here. It looks to be having a cool off. Again, stop loss under this level here can save you a lot of money. Even if it runs back up, I'm super happy with the trade and I like where this is going. Also, it's talking about CRV. It's still pretty much just chopping. We're starting to form solid price action of holding the yearly open. I mean, look at all these 12 hourly closes above the yearly open and also above this key high here that we did tap into, had a retracement, and then reclaimed it ultimately. So I think right now the main thing to watch out for is just if this low was sufficient enough and this starts holding here and slowly starts creeping back up. You can see the same exact thing on Bitcoin over here. Because genuinely, like last night or whatever, when we started rejecting off the monthly open and coming down to this area here, I honestly thought we were just going to go for the lows and maybe even go to like 110K, but it actually got defended pretty well and showed some strength right here on this low. So now I'm wondering if we're ultimately just going to come down and reclaim the monthly open after maybe tapping into this and start getting solid closes back into this range here. And that definitely does look like a possibility. And that would be my hopes. So I guess the next area to watch out for Bitcoin is pretty much this zone right here, and then obviously these highs and then all-time highs. So I would maybe potentially look to hedge some positions in this zone here. Right now, currently, I don't think any shorts here are worth the risk to reward, but up here, I'm definitely interested because the altcoins that we are positioned in definitely should be showing strength if Bitcoin pushes up. This is about, yeah, if Bitcoin pushes up about 2% to those areas. So that's it for Bitcoin. Let's see, what else am I watching? I was watching SPX. Yeah, this chart looks immaculate to me actually right now. So currently swept out these lows here. Um, we're retesting. This is actually a pretty key support zone. Again, no, the reason why I'm leaning more towards bullish for the majority of of this week is because we already had one major rejection off most of the SR levels, and now we're coming to retest those areas. So it's more probable that it breaks through this area now than before. So that's why I'm leaning more bullish. Again, also, this was a pretty good um, sort of AMD here. We had a little bit of chop and then a deviation underneath these lows. Um, and then hopefully we expand to like these highs or something like that. But I am positioned in SPX as I talked about. Again, everything looks pretty good and pretty solid to be positioned in still. Yeah, so CRV, we have that. So a new position that I'm interested in taking that you guys can potentially take with me. Of course, none of this is financial advice, but I think I can help you. So yeah, Syrup is another coin that I'm looking to position in. I've already gotten about a good amount of my size in that I want to at around a 3x leverage on Hyperliquid. I do think this is a pretty good narrative, and the chart looks ready to go. So Syrup came out. It's just kind of been doing this ranging, and I honestly do think that a dollar syrup is not unrealistic. So definitely a decent swing to watch out for. Bid I would bid any retracements into this area, and of course the stop loss would probably be a close underneath this low. It's been defended 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and it still has not closed under it. So that's pretty bullish for syrup. And I still definitely don't think you're late to this position here. Even something like this at a market buy targeting the highs would be over 2 RR, pretty much a 3 RR trade. So obviously, if you want to be more safe, I would take an entry if you get a pullback lower, since from those lows, it's pretty much up only about 20%, which I got in somewhere around this area here. So I'm already up pretty decent on the position, but another one to keep an eye out. I would add this to your watch list, and yeah. So yeah, covered that, and let's cover some indices. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, NQ, strong, solid recovery. Honestly, I hate like trading when this happens. Like this type of price action always like messes me up, and I always take bad trades off like shorts because I think it's bearish. So I really haven't been focused on NQ, but it'll be interesting to see if we reject here or can start making new highs. We're coming up to this order block right here. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. If we start getting rejection, I might look for some shorts, but there's nothing too daunting on indices. What I was positioned in though was a USD CAD short, and the reason for this was, again, if you watch one of my range videos, on that video I talked about in the NASDAQ, this applies exactly to Forex. And while I did miss the initial entry, there was still another re-entry that provided an awesome trade. So let's break it down. Okay, if we go out to the weekly time frame, again, even in and of itself, the high time frame is a range deviation. So we swept out all of these highs on super high time frame positions, and then we were ranging here, and then we deviated above, and then right now we came all the way down, and I want to at least see these lows get taken on this pair. So, and the price action is still pretty bearish, so that's why I entered shorts. We go to the daily time frame, and we can see that this was a perfect range, and then using simple deviation fibs and sweeping out this high here, we tap into it. And then the confirmation for the short, if you want to play it extra safe instead of entering on the deviation, is this daily inversion that we created. So we can mark that out. I usually don't even mark this stuff out anymore. It just comes naturally. But this daily inversion shows that there is a higher chance of a reversal, and that this might come back in within the range highs and start moving lower. So I ultimately entered here. This was a super, super tight stop loss above the inversion. I entered on something called Ostium. You can trade Forex with crypto. I might leave the link in the description. But yeah, these type of trades can provide super high RR. As you can see, I'm targeting 12 RR here. But I ultimately just set my stop loss at break even. But that is another good example. If you want to go to USD CAD, chart out the same trade, follow it, and just sort of follow along if you can't actually trade real capital, and just see how it plays out for the future. And that's pretty much everything that I wanted to recap. So we're interested in USD CAD shorts, also comfy and longs on Bitcoin, Litecoin, Syrup, and what else? Yeah, I'm tweaking. Syrup and CRV. Yeah, CRV. Again, I want to be really careful around these zones, but like I don't necessarily love the low that was put in, and like this quick recovery sort of dip and then recovery again. But I'm just going to continue to manage it. I thought I'd give a quick update. Also, I did start a new program on WAP, so if you're interested in that, you can go to the link in the description. And I know I've been talking a lot about cars on TikTok, so if you want to follow my TikTok and are interested in cars, just go there. And I have a surprise tomorrow, so it'll be super interesting, so you guys should definitely go tune into that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the recap for the day, and I'll update you guys probably at the end of the week on Friday. So yeah, have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.